And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, January 7th, 2017. This is Season 11, Episode 1. And if you're really curious, it's actually Episode 451. We have 49 episodes to go to hit the big 500.
Still wearing the tux for that one?
Ah, you remember, didn't you?
Yep. Kind of stood out that whole episode, actually.
Well, I said to myself, if nobody brings it up, I'm not gonna. But if somebody mentions the tux thing, I'll wear a tux. So
I'm sorry.
Look, we've got at least a year before we get there.
Okay. Maybe we'll forget.
Maybe. So I'm still gonna chance. I'd still do that. Anyway, welcome. It is Season 11, Episode 1, Episode 451, if you're counting. I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
And that's it. Matt is on his way. He will let us know by phone when he is going to be, by my phone, when he is going to get in.
It won't make a noise like his did last week, will it?
No, it won't.
Okay. All right.
Not at all. If you missed that spot, by the way, from last week, I really need to not drink coffee right before the show. If you missed the spot that we're talking about, go back to the old show and go about 8 minutes and 10 seconds in. And then just listen for a little bit and you'll find out. So
yeah.
So there you go. Medusa's Mirror says chances of me forgetting the tux are pretty small. Yeah. So anyway, Matt will be joining us. So thanks everybody for coming to the show. Thanks for everybody for listening to the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228, 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at ingamechat. You can also find us on Facebook, ingamechat. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. Basically, just put in-game-chat in front of anything, and you should be able to find us. We're streaming the cam feed right now on Twitch. Head over to twitch.tv. Go up into the search bar and type in, what's the phrase that pays? In-game chat. That's it. Type that in, you'll be able to find us. You can watch the show and listen to the show live while we broadcast. You can join in the chat room that we've got there and talk to everybody who's hanging out there. Medusa's Mirror, Drunk Degenerates, Moltile, and AC Wraith. Let's see who else it brings up that's hanging out in the chat room. We'll do an early chat room roll call, then we'll do one at the end. Oh, that about covers it. We got it covered. All right. Massive audiences. Just tripping over each other to get to the show.
Huge numbers.
Yeah, huge. Anyway, welcome to the show, the first of the new year. So, how was your new year, RJ, and what did you play?
Still played a little bit more of the standard fare, really. Still playing Let It Die. I finally made it to floor 27. I was stuck in a rut because I'm running into an issue with my weapons in the game. I haven't grinded them up to damaging levels yet. I've still got to get some materials from the bottom floors to make my weapons hard enough to to damage the bosses up in that area, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a little bit of back and forth and backtracking over and over again before I get to where I want to be, before I can be effective on the floors that I get to. There's also some other things that happen. The bosses are showing up a lot more, so it's going to be a lot more difficult going up the floor, and I expected it to be. The higher up you go, the more difficult it's going to be. I get that. More traps, more...
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. More traps, more rooms, more damage, more everything. So I've just got to spend more time building myself up before I want to go higher up the tower.
Yeah.
And other than that, more 3-on-3 freestyle basketball. They've got an event going on right now which double experience, double coins. So I've been spending a little more time in that than usual, and that's pretty much what I've been playing all this week.
Mm-hmm. So, a quick one. All right, then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to what I played, which, well, hasn't been a lot. It's been a bunch of it. So, in other words, I may have only played like 2 or 3 games, but I played those games for a really long time. So, but I'll get to what I played in a minute. Let's go to the phones. You throw out a phone number and people use it. That's great. We have massive audience member number 375 on the phone right now, otherwise known as Crawdad.
Reporting, sir.
Thank you for listening.
Always.
Even though you don't understand necessarily everything we're talking about.
Well,
thank
a
you for
little
listening.
here and there, like if you told me that if I put a quarter in the thing and then push that big red button and then move that little joystick, then it would go waka, 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 waka.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
God
Love
damn.
me some Pac-Man. Played some Pac-Man Championship Edition 2.
And-
Played that this morning a little bit.
Oh, did you ever get a table? Did you get a Miss Pac-Man table?
I never got a Miss Pac-Man table. I have family up north who, while they support this show, I don't think they listen to it. They support everything I do, but I don't necessarily know that they listen to everything that I do. She has, this is my, let me see, down here I say aunt, but everywhere else I hear aunt.
Yeah. We're the only ones that say it correctly. Everybody else is just,
They're wrong.
yeah.
Exactly. Central time is the right time, not Eastern, not whatever. Central time.
That's why it's central.
Exactly. No, my aunt and uncle have a couple of things that I would like. In fact, they asked me about them.
How come an aunt's an aunt, but an uncle's not an uncle?
An uncle? Yeah. They asked me specifically about 2 of the things that they have there. For a while, they had that nice little rec room down in their basement, and it's got a pool table. It's got a pinball machine. It's got a jukebox.
Oh, nice.
Which, if you want to know what kind it is, it used to be in my house, and now it's in
Tell
there.
me it's a Rockola.
It's a Rockola. You're exactly right. It is a Rockola. It is this big, hunking, massive piece of heavy equipment.
With beautiful lights.
With lots of beautiful... It's very blue. Beautiful lights. The buttons still work. It actually, at the time, we gave it to them, and this is going way back. All the buttons worked on it. And so they had 45s in there, and I'd sit there, and part of the paint on the window had been scratched off, and I could look in, and I could see the thing spin. It was vertical. And it was, and so I could see the thing spin and try and find the number that I pushed in, and then the arm would clamp on it, bring it over, set it down, and then start playing the record. So there's a Rockola there, and she asked me about the Rockola and the pinball machine. The pinball machine is dead in the water, but I can, and I've talked about this, I can gut that thing out, put in a computer system that will emulate pinball, and then I've got to put in a flat screen TV that lays horizontal. That would be the field, the play field of the pinball machine. Another flat screen goes into the back of it that would be the back glass. And then I can put any kind of pinball table machine in there that I want. They had one of these in Seattle at the Pinball Museum.
This brings up a valid, pertinent question for you.
Okay.
I see a lot of things that are on the internet, free game, like Mahjong, pinball. I'm hesitant because nothing in life is free. There's always something.
Yeah, more than likely, anything you're clicking on there if it's on the internet and says it's free, you've got to go through some hoops to make it happen for free. So I would just avoid that. And
Have so far. I was going to ask you is, because remember at one time, part of the old Windows package, there was a really nice pinball.
Pinball. I know what you're talking about.
Pinball game that was built into. And it came with that, so you didn't have any worries. It wasn't out there somewhere.
Yeah, they had that, there's Solitaire and Minesweeper, and what else? There was something. They had Mahjong, or Apple. I remember on more Apple machines had Mahjong on it than I did on Windows, from what I can remember.
I get hypnotized being in the room just listening to the music going around and around and around and around.
Yeah.
Last week, I didn't call, but I was listening to y'all talk about the games that you like and things.
I know, we totally screwed up the...
That's okay.
Because we were like, what year is that from? Oh, it's 2015? It was 2015? Oh, all right.
It's always fun to go pull out the old stuff, and rerun it. Did you ever play Destroy All Humans? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going. That's
Iridium.
Yeah, that's going back a good ways beyond 2016.
I could not. I mean,
What was that? 2000. RJ's looking it up now. 2007. It was. I think it's an original Xbox. I think it's an Xbox title, not. They probably had one for Xbox 360, but I can't
loved
remember.
the second version, and I think they even did a third. But the first one was awesome because the little bubble-headed space dude, whoever the voice actor is doing it,
It's going 2005 on this.
he's got Jack Nicholson down pat.
No, those were fun. I remember Destroy All Humans, man. That was fun.
Was so full of humor
Where were you playing that?
on a console.
Okay, you're playing it probably on an Xbox. I don't know that it was exclusive, but
It was great. I mean, everything, all the lines, the artwork was nice, the game was nice, but it would make you laugh.
Yep.
Because of the things the little guy would say.
yeah, I remember that game very well. I remember renting that game from Blockbuster and playing that thing. I do remember that. So
Now, let's say somebody wanted to go back and go into the Wayback Machine and play that again. How hard is it to find old games like that?
there's it's as hard as driving to Prattville.
Uh-huh.
Because I can tell you now, Retro Game Planet, free plug.
Retro Game Planet,
Yeah.
free ad for them.
Free plug for them easily. They used to advertise here as well. I don't think they're actually advertising anywhere, but free plug to them. Rustin and his crew, great guys.
Rustin, if you're listening, you missed out, buddy.
They used to advertise here, and they would come and go with advertising. But he's a really good guy. He's got a really great store. He's done a lot with very little and made it something very big.
That's a good business model.
It's a fantastic. But that store has gone through so many metamorphoses as far as not the content, but just the layout, because he keeps getting more and more stuff.
Stuff is good.
But you can find him on Facebook. Look up Retro Game Planet on Facebook, and they will have an old Xbox or a PlayStation for probably, I don't know, $50, maybe less.
There you go.
And then you can take it home, plug it into your TV or whatever, and then play your game. So that's the easiest way I can tell you to do it right now. There's other ways to do it. You can, download emulators on your PC and then download ROMs to run in the emulators, and there's a lot to do with that. But you can look that up if you want to go further with it.
What about Abe's Odyssey?
Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, yes. That
Awesome.
was 2003. That was an Xbox launch title.
Okay.
Is it 2000? No, 2001? Or 2000, are you looking that up?
I'm looking it up now.
I'm curious on this one. I want to say it's 2001.
I had a work friend, he would come over on Friday nights when the wife would let him loose for a couple hours.
Wait, Abe's Odyssey? Or am
Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld says
Oddworld.
1990.
No. I was wrong. I was thinking of the launch title for the Xbox One, which was, I think, Abe's. Oh God, I can't remember what the thing was, but it was an Oddworld launch title. But yeah, Abe's Odyssey, that goes back to the PlayStation.
Yeah, it says Oddworld Abe's Odyssey was September 19th of 97.
I'm telling you, some of the artwork on that stuff was just phenomenal. They really put their time in developing.
Yeah, the Oddworld games are on PC if you have the Steam platform, which is just a storefront like a
Mentioned that before.
like Amazon or something like that. So if you have Steam on your PC, you can download the Oddworld games.
And then, of course, there was Crash Bandicoot.
That is PlayStation. I have no idea on the year. I want to go 97, 96. It may also be 99.
Those were a lot.
96.
96? Okay.
96, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 96.
First, you see, that was my first exposure when these games came out. It's like I used to love Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers, and that's what I told my friend. I said, hey, this is like watching a cartoon, except you get to make them jump around.
Yeah.
It was fun. Listen, I appreciate you taking my call. I enjoy your show, and I always learn something.
I appreciate you listening, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
If you've got questions, doesn't matter what they are. If you just want to throw out games and let us look them up, we can do that. 334-272-9228 is the number to get in touch with us. Going back to what I was saying, my aunt talked to me about giving me that pinball machine and giving me back the Rockola, just saying, hey, do you want them back? It really didn't go much further than that in the conversation.
How many records was in that thing? Triple digits or double digits?
No, double digits.
Double
easily.
digits? Okay.
Never got to. No, not 100.
Okay.
But I can't. I can't remember how many were in there. But the pinball machine is dead. I can fix that up. But she's also got a cocktail Pac-Man table.
Oh, sit down. Okay.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2-player sit down cocktail Pac-Man table. And that's one I really want as well. So, but yeah. So she was talking to me about that. Oh, phone's ringing again.
Yep.
Let's see who's on it. Hello, you're on In-Game Chat. Who's this?
Hey, it's Lee.
Hey, Lee. What's going on?
Not much. I'm loving you guys' show. Just felt compelled to call in and talk about the retro game.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a retro game show, no problem at all. We never really had plan. In fact, the NES Classic, and I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh yeah, I got one.
Oh, you got one.
Yep.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Wetumpka.
How did you get one?
Well, I've got a buddy. Well, not really a buddy, but I do a lot of shopping at the GameStop, and I got a low-key call that if I wanted one, I better get down there pronto, and I just happened to be at Walmart when they called me.
Man, I want one. I wanted one. Now I'm just sort of like, I wanted one before Christmas in the big rush and stuff, and now since Christmas is over with, I'm just sort of waiting around for it to where you can just walk in the store and pick it up whenever.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone through any extreme measures like some folks were doing, but it's fun. I mean, it brings back the nostalgia, but they incorporated some of the kinks and things that existed with the original games and system, and it almost takes a little bit away. So I was a little bit disappointed, and then the controller cord is ridiculously short.
It's it's amazingly short. It's criminal how short that is. There was a story today, and RJ had just brought it up, and I had just read it earlier, that a group of people were able to basically crack that thing open and put whatever they wanted onto it.
Really?
Yes. I think they put about 60 other games on that thing.
That doesn't surprise me. I knew the modders would get after it, but now are you guys aware of the Raspberry Pi?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Totally.
You know, if you've got the ROMs and emulators, you can put, I think, as much
as much as you got space for, man. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I've got like 7,000 ROMs. So I mean, a buddy of mine, he went to a conference in Tokyo and picked up, and this was about 6 or 7 years ago, and picked up a data stick for $14, American obviously, and it had, I think, 12 ROMs, or 12 emulators, and almost 7,000 ROMs on it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was amazing. I was like, I had no idea you could just walk in somewhere in Japan and buy that product. But when the gentleman that was just talking was talking about the platform games, one that I really love. Now, I'm 44. I'm an Atari generation, and I still game. I game with my kids.
Yeah.
Just to give you the background, and I've owned pretty much every system. You know, from Atari 2600 and Television, Coleco, all that. The obscure systems, Neo Geos, you name it. But in 1993, of course, Nintendo, the Super NES, Super Famicom, both of those were huge, obviously. And the next generation of stuff was being talked about. And while Sony and Nintendo were still kind of, fighting that battle that made Sony branch off to the PlayStation, Trip Hawkins used to be president of Electronic Arts. He branched off and started a company called 3DO.
Yeah.
And then they came out with the Gold Star 3DO, and then I think it was a Panasonic 3DO. Do you remember the 3DO system? I do remember the 3DO system. I remember it specifically for at the time, how amazingly pricey that thing was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I paid, I waited until they had a big sale, and it was still $550. But
yeah,
that was a Laserdisc, right?
It was a disc-based system.
Right.
I don't know that it was laser discs.
And it was normal CDs.
Okay, regular CDs. Okay.
But there were several games that were born on it that have carried on today. Like the Madden, first Madden was on
3DO.
It was the first 3D type Madden was on 3DO. Need for Speed, Road Rash. But they had two games that I just loved and would love to find a 3DO or an emulator. It was Battle Sport, which was great 2-player, and then Gex. And that's what made me think of it was Gex. Gex was so fun.
Gex the Gecko, yeah.
Yep.
I only played that on PlayStation.
I didn't know it went to any other platform. That's great.
Yeah, it did. Because the 3DO, by all, it pretty much didn't. it didn't work.
Right.
I mean, it worked, but it didn't profit. It didn't do very well.
Yeah.
No, the price point was suicidal.
Oh my God, it was unreal.
Yeah, only lunatics like me were out buying it. I mean, that's just not enough to support new hardware.
Trust me. Look, I say that that's unreal, but I've spent more on worse.
Right. We probably all have.
Probably without batting an eye.
I was looking at the games you mentioned, Gex and Battlesport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said, I see Battlesport was on 3DO in 95, Sega Saturn in 97, Windows in 97, and the PlayStation in 97. And Gex, 3DO, PlayStation, Saturn, and Windows as well. So yeah, those titles did go on other systems as well.
And that was my other question: was Battlesport, was that the last iteration? Was the 97 on PC?
97. Last date I'm seeing here is PlayStation or 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love it if they bring it to one of these newer gen consoles. I love my PS4, and that was just a great game. You could sit down with some friends. I mean, it was almost as fun to me as GoldenEye was on the 64 back in the day.
That says a lot.
I mean, it really
was it multiplayer?
Yeah. Well, now you were obviously not online, but you could play. I think it was 4 players if you wanted to. I never played 4 players; only had 2 controllers. But my brother-in-law and I would play all the time after work, and just sit there and have a beer, and eat some pizza, and relax and play Battlesport until one of us got mad at the other one. But it was a great time. And the other system, and I loved the Aliens vs. Predator game for it, was the Atari, and I can't remember what that Atari was called.
The Atari.
It was out about the time the Lynx.
The Jaguar.
Jaguar, thank you.
Yeah.
See, I sold all those systems in 2001 2000 after my son was born. I sold them to remodel the nursery.
Okay.
And, so I don't have any systems. And I quit hoarding them like I had for so many years. But it was just racking my brain trying to remember the name of that darn Atari system. So I'm gonna have to track that down, guys. I love this show, and you guys do. It's just great entertainment. So thanks for what you do.
Hey, Lee, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, bye-bye. You want to call up and talk about retro games? We more than happy will discuss that with you. Just 334-272-9228 is the telephone number. I forgot to do this. It's a little late now. If I can find that, I'll fix it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I remember this system having these huge laser discs, but and it didn't profit very well either. But I can't remember the name of the system.
Laser discs did have game functionality in them, but the only games that I could remember on Laserdisc were Dragon's Lair.
Yeah,
that was a Laserdisc game. That was a Laserdisc game not only in the arcade but also when they brought it home.
Yeah,
it was on Laserdisc. Space Ace was the other one, because of both of those things there. What but you're thinking there was a system that was Laserdisc based?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of that system. I want to say it was 3DO, but apparently not. So
no, it wasn't 3DO. I can't think of what it was.
It'll probably come to me later anyway. Okay.
I can't think of what it was. So anyway, we're going to take a commercial break. Don't forget, we got, well, I say don't forget, whatever. We have got all new music this year. I am hoping that you will never hear the same track twice throughout any of ever how many episodes we do this year. So we are going to, that starts now and with this episode. So
new year, new tracks.
I know. 7 new tracks every single week. Now we might pick a different track from the same game, but we're not going to pick the same track from the same game, so you won't be hearing any of those repeats anymore. So for our first break, this thing looks like it's backfired on me because it's now only showing the song title and not the game that it's from, when I specifically made it do whatever. Anyway, luckily I remember what this is from. It is from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The composer is Austin Wintory, and this track is called Family. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music right now from Battlefield 1. This is the prologue, and it's called We Push. Like I said, all the music now, for this year at least, and I hope maybe to make it just a regular thing, will be brand new stuff. And not necessarily from brand new games, as you'll hear next week. Because there's some older stuff that we got. RJ provided next week's music, by the way. So, but yeah, all new stuff for the new year. Anyway, Lee called us back to inform us what the RJ had this thing in his head about a Laserdisc system, and he finally figured out what it was. It was called the PlayStation, or not the PlayStation, the
Pioneer Laser Active.
The Pioneer Laser Active.
Yeah.
And it played Laserdisc games.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, convergence device. Capable of playing laser discs, compact discs, console games, and LDG karaoke discs. Yeah, released in '93 by Pioneer. Lee mentioned earlier about the introductory price he paid.
The 3DO being really expensive.
Yeah.
The 3DO was what? $700?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we looked up the Laser Active, and the introductory price for this one was $970. So don't feel bad about that at all.
But it played CDs.
Yeah.
What year was this though?
'93.
I don't know that was such a big year or a big deal at the time. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yes,
and for a Laserdisc game player, Laserdiscs in '93 weren't the thing. Were they? No.
No.
God. I'm having a hard time figuring out what was the not necessarily what was in, but like what was the new tech for the year.
Yeah. And
I don't think Laserdisc was the new tech for '93.
Yeah. Well, it says here it also accepted Mega Drive, Genesis, PC Engine, cartridges, and CD-ROMs.
Interesting.
Yeah, but still
$900 for that thing.
Yeah, not 900, almost 1,000, 970.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, so
we can see why that didn't survive.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's see, discontinued.
Of course, that makes you wonder about VR.
Yeah,
because you're pushing into VR territory there with the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive.
Yeah. Not
with the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, it says he also was discontinued in '96, but sold an estimated 10,000 units.
Wow.
Yeah.
More than I expected for something that costs that much. So, anyway, if you've got you want to talk about games, give us a call. 334-272-9228. We are streaming on Twitch. Matt is still empty. His chair is still that was odd. His chair is still empty. Matt is not here. Last word, he is still waiting to get out of what he's doing so he can get over here. So he may make the show, he may not. I don't know. But I'll talk about what I've played. So I mentioned earlier that I hadn't played much, but what I had played was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, after Destiny's been around this is year 3 of Destiny, right? I have never once. Oh, Matt says he's on his way. All right, so Matt is on the way. Yeah, I'll tell Matt where to go. So finally, 3 years of Destiny, and I have never maxed a character at all. I've never been able to max level a character.
You got all 4, 3? How many?
I have 3 characters, but I was never able to get them to max.
Mm-hmm.
Like the max level in year 1 was level 20, and then of course your light level did a thing, and I never could max that out because light level was so confusing back then. Oh, was it very confusing. It was really, really confusing. They finally straightened it out with year 2, and it worked much better.
Okay.
But even year 2, when the max level was 40 and the light level was 320, never could get there. I got to 319, but there were pieces I just could not get for my guy to get him up to 320. Rise of Iron releases in year 3, and again, I'm on the grind. The level cap stays at 40, but the light level cap goes up to 400. So here I am, still trying to get there, and for a good while now, I've been at 399 on most characters. This week, I finally hit 400. Finally got there.
Cool. And which build?
My Warlock. My main.
Okay.
However, so my main gets up to 400, and I'm thinking, all right, this is what I wanted to do. Anyway, I discovered it's a subreddit within the Destiny community, and it's called the Destiny Sherpas. And it's just people who will take, it's Sherpas, if you're familiar with what a Sherpa is. They take you up the mountain.
Guides.
Yeah, they're guides.
Yeah.
It's exactly what these guys are. They're guides to take you through other parts of the game. And I jumped in on a Sherpa group that ran the old Crota's End raid, which was year 1, but it was the second raid they added with some of the DLC in year 1. So I ran that raid. We were going to do Vault of Glass, which was the very first raid they did. And I wanted to run that because I have a quest that'll get me an exotic weapon from that. And I've had it for a while now. I've just never run the raid. We didn't get to do that. But anyway, looking through the Sherpa thing, and I signed up earlier this week for another one that was going on last night. And it was the new raid, Wrath of the Machine, hard mode challenge. So I've only ever run the raid one single time in normal mode, and I told them that before I signed up. I said, I've only ever done it once, so if you guys can put up with me. And they were nice. They were so nice, so very nice and very accommodating. But this raid took... I got the invite at about 6:50 last night. And then we sat in the lobby trying to get a full team of 6 until about 7:30. 7:30, we started the raid, give or take. I don't really know.
Okay, the Sherpa group. It was only one member of the Sherpa group.
No, he put a thread on Reddit, and people were signing up.
Okay.
So we had 5 people, but then somebody backed out, couldn't do it.
Okay.
And so we had to find 2 people. Took a while, but eventually we found 2 people. Because I guess it took a while to find anybody willing to do either the hard mode of this raid or the challenge mode of this raid. So we found somebody, and it was about 7:30 or so when we finally got started. And it was about 2-something that morning when we finally got done. Yeah. Took a long time. This is not a long raid when you know what to do, but there was a lot of us on this team that did not know what to do.
Goodness.
Yeah, we were running for our first time. So, but running it got me more gear, so now my Titan is at 400. So I've maxed him. And I'm going to try and run the Titan either tonight or tomorrow if I can find a group doing it. And then that'll have enough for my Hunter to get up there as well. And I just want to do it more and more and more so that I can finally just go on to the LFG sites and be like, I'm good to go. Let's go. Don't have to worry about not knowing the way it works and everything else. I want to get it down, get it, into the back of my head so I know how to run the thing. So I finally did it. I finally got it done. Ran the hard mode raid. Yes, it was hard. I think it was more hard because of the challenge that we were trying to do rather than anything else. I really can't explain on the air how that whole thing works without totally confusing. If you think you're confused when you listen to the show, and you're not a gamer, there's no way I'm about to go into the explanation of this thing.
Yeah. It's like me explaining frame rates and data in a fighting game.
Yeah,
if you have no idea, then you won't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, God, there's some stuff with that thing. So yeah. Anyway, it got done. Is all I'm saying.
After a good little while.
We tried to. They were even nice enough to get me the monitor trick, where you'll get a quest for the 4th exotic out of this year 3. You'll get a quest to get that 4th exotic weapon, and they did that, but we did something later on that nullified it, and so I didn't actually get it. So, which I'm okay with. That's fine. I can go back and do it again. There's plenty of people who look to try and get the monitor trick so they can get that quest. So there's plenty of people trying to do that. I'm really just trying to fill up my record book for year 3. That's all I'm really trying to do. So I put in a lot of time with Destiny this week. Tons of time, and I'll probably put in tons more because I'm trying to reach that 400 thing. So the second game that I finally played, because during the sale, PlayStation had a sale, PlayStation Store had a sale. I bought 2 games from that sale. I bought Inside, which were the same people who did Limbo.
Okay.
I have not played that yet. And I also finally picked up, almost a year after its release, The Witness, which is a puzzle game. Which, if anybody knows me, knows that I like puzzle games. And The Witness, when it was released last year, this is from Jonathan Blow, the guy who did Braid. When it was released last year, a lot of people, even Jonathan Blow himself, were comparing this to a Myst type experience, where you're just kind of thrown in and you got to figure out what to do yourself. You got to figure out the story. You got to figure out what to do. You're just we're just going to put you in there and let it all unfold through your discovery. And so I put about 30 minutes or so into that earlier this week, and it kind of bit. It kind of got its claws into me. Because the puzzles were nice. They started off simple. Here's point A, here's point B. Drag the line across, which I did. All right. Here's point A, here's point B, but point B is up above or around this corner. So drag your line across. Okay. And it just kept getting a little bit more difficult. And now, and there's my complaint. That's all the puzzles are so far that I've found. And I think from what I've read, I mean, it's been a year. That's all the puzzles are. They're get yourself from point A to point B with different variations on how that's done. But that's all it is. It's the same. It's that same puzzle box. It's the same line. There's.
Was it like too simple?
Really? No. I will not. No. It's not too simple. It just lacks variation.
Okay.
When I play a Myst game, there are all sorts of different ways to do a puzzle. There's different kinds of puzzles and ways to do them as well. But there's just different kinds. Some are environmental. Some are. Some can be exactly like that. Some are really difficult. I remember one of the puzzles in Myst was there was a planetarium-like place on Myst Island, and when you went in there and looked at the stars, there was a certain constellation you had to look at to get the certain key that would unlock the door to get to another part of the island. But in order for you to figure out which constellation you're supposed to look at, there's a book you had to go look at in the library. There's just all these different clues and hints and things that were laid around, and it felt more of a progressive sense of everything can be a clue. That's not the case in Witness.
I see.
Every puzzle is, for the most part, an instruction on how the next puzzle will work. So a lot of the times you'll see a row of monitors that have the puzzles on them. So you'll go to that first one, which is the only one unlocked. As soon as you finish it, the next one will unlock. And then once you've done all four, it unlocks something, it powers up a station or something like that.
Right.
So you go to the first one, and it's just going to be, like I said, it's going to be here's point A, here's point B, and you do it simple enough. So that gets you into that. The next one's like, here's point A, here's point B, but here's an obstacle in between. Figure it out. You figure it out. All right, good. You go to the next one. Okay, here's point B, here's point A, here's point B. Here's an obstacle here, but now you've got a stipulation of you've got to hit certain points in your path to get to point B. And by the way, you cannot overlap your line. Your line cannot overlap itself. And then it just goes on from there. It never... Unless I get to the end and there's some explanation, which there very well could be, which is why I don't necessarily want to pass judgment on it too early.
Right.
But there seems to be no rhyme or reason to these puzzles existing. They're just there. They do activate things, but why are they there? What's the point? Going back to the Myst puzzle.
Yeah.
If somebody left a clue, you find it in the book, you go do the thing. You don't. If you looked in the book early enough, you wouldn't know what that thing is for. You would have no idea. It's going to hit you later in the game. Be like, oh yeah, it's that book that's over. Got to go get it. So there's a massive sense of figuring it out, of like eureka moments. I've stumbled upon the solution. Witness, there's very few of those. I had a couple because some of the point A to point B things were maze-like, and I could just kind of move it around. But then there's a couple that I feel like I just tried all the variations till I found the one that worked.
Yeah.
That's fine, but that feels like it wastes time. It feels like it's... not too simple, but and I don't want to say lazy, but there's just something there. There's something that takes the fun out of it.
It sounds like Myst without the exploration.
There's exploration because the island is very, very big. So I mean, you can explore different parts, but all you're doing is exploring so you can find the next puzzle board.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but in Myst, you were talking about how you got to get the
right
item from this location if
right.
you don't know anything about.
Well,
this
that's the
location
thing.
First. Yeah,
If you come across an advanced puzzle early, you may not know the mechanics of how it works.
Okay.
So like I like to. As soon as you go into a game, one of the first things that I do is don't go forward. I turn around and go back.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be on levels in Sonic, levels in Mega Man. You're standing there and they expect you to go right.
Yeah.
But I would always go left to see how far I could go back and to see what was back there. Mario 2 had secrets. Mario 3 had secrets where if you didn't start, if you didn't just automatically go, you can go back and get to a little secret thing, whatever.
Right.
So Witness is no different. As soon as I'm there, I don't go forward. I turn around and look behind me, see that there's nowhere to go forward. But that's how I played the game. Every time I'm in a new environment, before I play any puzzles, I do a nice sweep of the place and look around it, and just to see what's all here, what am I doing, what's the ultimate goal, find out, exactly how this whole thing works. Within the area that I was in was fine, but as soon as I got out of that area, the world opened up to me. I was free to go wherever I wanted to go.
Okay.
And so the first thing I did was I ran back inside to my single area because I had found a puzzle that had power going from it to the door that let me out. But it also had a point C that I could have taken my line to. Point C turned on a cable that went outside of the area, and I have no idea what it operated or what it did. And so, oh, Matt's here. We'll get him. We only got a few more minutes here. So, as soon as I opened the main door to the gate, I went back to that puzzle, switched it so the power went to the outside, and then I went to find out where that wire went. It went to a door. I opened the door. I kept going through. I found a puzzle I hadn't seen before. It was a green pathway puzzle from point A to point B, but it had little black dots in the path. Ultimately, I figured out that I have to have my line cross those dots and then make it to point A in order for it to open. As I did this, I came upon more that had variations on that theme. Eventually, it let me out into an area where, when I turned left, I found this white puzzle, very, very detailed with a lot of things in it. It was a point A to point B puzzle, but it had black dots that I recognized. Okay, I got to hit all of those. But it also had white squares and black squares that my line could go around. And I didn't know what to do there, so I left and I kept playing. Eventually, I came to the point where that introduction of that puzzle, when it's got black squares and white squares, you have to divide the line. The line needs to divide those. So 2, you just go through the middle and go up, and that separates the 2, and boom, you open the door. Sometimes they put in 3, 4, 6 different black squares and white squares, and that you have to find a path that separates the black from the white, and then you can open the door. So as soon as I figured this out, I ran all the way back to where I was. I looked at the puzzle, I gave it a bunch of different tries, and eventually found the solution. Walked in there, opened a thing, have no idea what it's for, which is good. Maybe it'll come back into play later. So that excited me. I was like, oh, okay. Excuse me. Something that something might come into play later. This is great. I'll remember this, and then I'll come back to it if I need to. Excuse me, I swallowed wrong. Matt says it's cold outside. I know, Matt. I can't come down there and let you in. We're still on the air. He's not listening. I don't want him talking. So that was the whole thing with Witness. It's a beautiful game. If they do VR on PlayStation for it, it'll be fantastic. Goodness.
Like you said earlier, the main issue is that the lack of variation in the puzzles. It's just a little different, little nuance added every time you.
I tell you,
go.
I like puzzles. I do. I even like puzzles where it's a 500-piece picture puzzle put together.
Yeah.
I like that stuff as well. But in video games, I am too used to having really really very different puzzles. You know, if you look at the room 2, the room 3, those puzzles are different. All of them are different. What's another great puzzle game? Medusa's Mirror gifted me one on Steam that I haven't played yet, but it has a very Myst vibe to it. There was Batman, and you'll experience this next week when I bring you the VR. Batman VR has 3D puzzles because it's in VR. So, like, one of the things when you're in the Batcave, and you can look at, like, the database of stuff. So, like, Riddler trophy comes up, and all the Riddler stuff is all broken apart. They come in these pieces. But you can move these objects in 3D space, and you can position them and move them around and then try and put them together. When we were playing this with James the other day, I said, oh, this is fantastic. I would love a game that was just this. Here's a bunch of stuff, put it together in 3D space, you know? And it does that a couple of other times with, like, some bomb you have to put back together, and all the pieces go in and that sort of thing. I loved it. Virtual reality 3D space puzzle solving. It's fantastic. So I'd love to have more of that as well. So Matt's really getting cold outside. Who do we have? We have Verfortis. He was listening on the radio and figured he would drop in. I highly recommend the game Perspective by Digipen. It's free and a nice short puzzle game about having a 3D player directing a 2D player by changing their perspective in a room. Fantastic. That sounds really cool. No, go ahead. Link to it. Yeah. You are totally allowed to link to it. So yeah, those are the 2 games that I played. I think. Did I play anything else? I don't think I did. Yeah, those are the 2 games that I played. And I'll play some more of Inside, and I'll definitely play more of Witness. Trust me, it was really nice just to chill in the bed just before, going to sleep and having this very, I want to say atmospheric game. There's like no music. There's just some sound effects. It's just you, and it's just puzzles. And then you're just sitting there figuring them out. And it was really nice. So that's nice and something to do, and I'm going to continue to do it. But right now, my judgment on the game is it's good, but just doesn't have variation in the puzzles.
Right.
There's not enough. The puzzles are very repetitive. They don't repeat. Solutions don't repeat themselves, but it's just not enough difference.
Yeah, same type of puzzle. Just a little different.
It's not enough difference.
Stipulation put on there each time.
Yeah, that's my big thing there. So, all right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come and let Matt in because apparently he's freezing. Dude can't stand the cold. He probably didn't dress for it either. But he's downstairs. We're going to let him in, and we will come back with more of In-Game Chat after this. If you happen to call, I've been facing RJ the entire time. The phone's been to my back. I have no idea if anybody called. So if you happen to call and we didn't answer, I do apologize. Feel free to call back, though, 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228 is the number. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Here is music from Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. It is the opening credits of that game. Here you go. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Titanfall 2. It's a track called Link to Pilots. And welcome back to the show. Scott and RJ here, now joined by Matt.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hey, Matt. You're excited. You were cold, huh?
Yes, I was cold. It is cold outside.
That'll teach you to show up late.
I had no say in the matter.
I know you don't. I know. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We were just talking about games that we play. Well, I think you listened to some of it on the way over, and you brought up a great point. You brought up Talos Principle, which is another fantastic puzzle game.
But from how you were describing Witness, it reminded me of Talos Principle, where, in a way, I mean, having not played Witness, or really even seen the videos,
the variations in Talos Principle were much more varied than what I'm getting out of
I mean,
the Witness.
You have like laser puzzle, like connect the lasers.
Yeah.
And you had some with like the wind and I guess but it's not to the extent of say Myst.
Right. No. None of this was a sense where Talos Principle never had it like Myst either, where you find something and then you figure, and it comes to play later or something like that.
It was all very encapsulated in that area.
Each world in there, you go in there, and there's a bunch of different kind of puzzles. They were all basically the same as far as you direct a laser to a certain point to open a door to connect to something, to power things up. But the variation on that with the enemies you would encounter, you could freeze them. Some of them could be frozen with an object.
Yes.
The variations that you would run into with
the rewind,
that feature, the record and rewind feature. That starts messing with your head.
Yes.
As to how that works. So very good variations, and honestly, those things come really a lot later in the game. So saying right now that there's not enough variation in the puzzles in Witness seems to be
but from what I've heard,
jumping the gun.
I've heard that it is the same,
very much like that
type of puzzle.
Yeah,
just harder. So I don't know. So I mean, not exactly like Talos Principle, obviously.
I mean,
I would equate that more than.
It's still doing its thing to me because I'm still interested in playing it. It's not taking me away from it. So I'm still going to be playing it, but. And I'm still going to be curious to see how the puzzles vary, or become different and that sort of thing. How they change. And maybe there's an explanation to them.
Yeah.
Or
not.
Yeah, if the story can provide an explanation to them, maybe that changes my opinion. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm very, very early in the game. So, anyway, that's what I've been playing. Matt, you're back to the show. What have you been playing?
Assassin's Creed Rogue. I mean, not Rogue, sorry.
Unity?
Syndicate. Yes. I did pick up the Humble Bundle, like you pointed out.
I picked up the Humble Bundle, but I only picked up the first tier right now.
Okay. And then got you a Brotherhood.
Yeah, you got me Brotherhood, so I'm not going to buy that other tier because I already owned Unity.
Okay.
So I didn't want to pay the $15 just for Brotherhood.
Yeah, and I mean, the DLC for 3.
That's in the second tier, which right now I think cost me like $7 since I put the $1 in to do it. So. Matt is going to answer the phone there. Yeah, the Humble Bundle right now is all Assassin's Creed games, and it's fantastic to get. So you can pay what you want. Just go to humblebundle.com, I think, and you can pay whatever you want to get a certain amount of games. Then there's a tier where you need to beat the average price. If you beat the average price, you'll get another group of games, Assassin's Creed again. And then there's the one where if you pay a certain amount, you get another group of games that are all Assassin's Creed related as well. You can pretty much get all the Assassin's Creed games except for
Black Flag and Rogue.
No. Black Flag, Rogue, and Revelations.
Revelations. Oh, okay. Yes. I already had those.
Yeah.
Except for Rogue.
I'm just saying it's not the complete Assassin's Creed kit, but. It
is a great start.
It's good enough. Yeah, it really is. Who do we have on the phones?
We have the answer to life, the universe, and everything. 42.
No, hello.
Hello.
Hey, 42.
Hey.
What's going on?
Nothing much. And this is a good day because I just realized New Year, new games.
Yeah.
That's right. New year, new games. In fact, the first ones that we're getting is... the
one I'm looking for this month, Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7 is this month.
Yes.
We did a whole list last week about what's coming out. And
that's the big one for me.
If you've heard, Injustice 2 is coming out.
That's coming out in May.
Yeah, that's coming out this May.
Injustice 2 is in May. Mass Effect is in March.
Yeah, Andromeda,
that's in March. We already have dates on those. We've got a new Nintendo system with the Switch.
Yep.
We'll know more about that this coming week, actually.
Because of...
they're doing their or their Treehouse, whatever it is. Nintendo's doing their thing, their stream on the 13th, which I think is this coming, let's see, 9, 10, 11.
Friday.
Is it Friday?
It is Friday.
It is. It's Friday the 13th.
Yes.
So we'll know more about the Twitch on next week's episode. Oh, Twitch. We'll know about the Switch next week's episode. So, what are you excited for?
I'm excited for Injustice 2 is what I'm excited for.
Yeah, RJ, is that anywhere?
Maybe something later. Probably won't be at launch. I'll probably be still playing Street Fighter 5 at that point. But yeah, it's something to probably look out for. See how big the community gets on this.
Let me ask you about that real quick, and let me interrupt you real quick, 42, while I ask him this fighting game question. Okay. When is EVO?
July. Mid-July.
Is a game that releases in May, is that close enough to get it into the EVO group?
I don't see why not.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't think it's not going to show up. It probably will show up, actually.
I think it would easily show up. But will it show up in like tournament play or just be a feature of NetherRealm or whatever? Or?
Probably tournament. If they have it available for sign up. Yeah,
okay.
They probably will. People will probably.
I just didn't know if there's like a cutoff on that. You know, if there's one of those things where, well, the game hasn't been out long enough, people haven't gotten their feel of it yet.
But maybe that puts everybody on an equal playing field.
Well, yeah.
Well, when Street Fighter 5 came out, they had that unfinished version at a final round, so they had that.
That's true. What was the game came out in February and final round was what, in March?
March.
Yeah. So, all right. What else? 42. Anything else? Just Injustice.
I'm actually excited about what I got for Christmas. My mom enrolled me in the GameStop Rewards program.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So
she should also enroll you in the
Best Buy?
The Gamers Club Unlocked program from Best Buy.
No.
She should. I tell you right now, she should. You can get some fantastic deals, man. I've been milking that subscription for all it's worth.
How much does it cost per month or week?
It costs $30 for a year.
Oh, jeez.
It's not even a month. It's $30. I think it may be $30 for 2 years, actually.
Say if it's $30 a year, then it's less than $10 a month.
Yeah, but it may be $30 for 2 years. I'm not exactly sure, but it's really inexpensive. And so you'll go in to buy a $60 console game. It's only going to cost you $47. I know. And when you trade that in, so if you trade it in with enough time, if you bring it back to the store to trade it in for for credit to spend in the store, I swear I'm giving them a free plug, but it's really great. If you trade it back in for the store, they give you a percentage bonus on the trade-in value. So a lot of my trade-ins, if I do it with enough time while the game's still getting top value trade-in, I will trade it in for, I think it's $43. So I'll have $43 credit, essentially only spending about $3, $4, maybe $5 every time I buy a game, because then I'll get a $43 gift card when the next game comes out that I want. I'll use that, spend it, pay the difference, which is like $5, get the new game, play it, turn around, trade it in, and then just keeps going through. So,
all right.
It's a fantastic thing. Hey, 42, we appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah, but let me say this real quick. But the reason I'm so excited is in my new little book they give you, because it's got all the upcoming games in it.
Yeah.
I got a coupon for the Xbox One S bundle with Minecraft Story Mode: The Complete Adventure, $80 off. That means I'd only pay $220 for the console, one controller, and Minecraft Story Mode: The Complete Adventure. That costs less than one bundle itself.
$80 off. It should cost you less than 200 and whatever you said. It should cost you less than that, because I know that they've sold those for around $250, and if you can use that well, I take that back. The Minecraft Complete Adventure thing is not. They've got a Minecraft Xbox One S, but it's just Minecraft, not Minecraft Complete Adventure thing. So
yeah, but the one I have, it says it gives you Minecraft the Complete Adventure.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Because I've already got the original game, and I've played all the story in it.
Is that what you have? Do you have an Xbox One, or what do you have?
I got a PlayStation 3, but what I might do if I don't get that, the Xbox One S, or if I don't get a PlayStation 4, I might just have me a copy of Injustice 2 Made.
Made?
Yeah. Pay a whole lot extra, but if you could...
How do you have it? How do you have it made?
You can go onto Warner Bros. And you can if you can convince them to, then they'll make you a copy. They'll make a copy for one of their coworkers. If you convince them that you're one of their coworkers, you can actually, if you on the PlayStation 4, if you want to get a free subscription to PlayStation Plus, you can enter the location and the street and your number and stuff, like you're one of the Sony workers, and you'll get free PlayStation Plus.
Really? It's that easy to do?
Yeah. Just look up how to get free PlayStation Plus on the internet.
I'm sure none of that will go wrong.
Probably not.
Okay. I'll just 42. Just be careful. Whatever you do with whenever you get your console and you try and get these free things, just make sure your parents are supervising you and make sure it's all above board. That's all I'm saying. So,
all right.
Yeah, just be careful with it. We appreciate you calling, man. Thanks for listening too.
All right, bye.
Have a good one.
So Assassin's Creed Syndicate is what you've been playing?
Yes, I've been assassinating fools.
How far in are you?
I've done all of the, the side little missions to unlock the territories, to turn them from red to your side.
So you went to the viewpoints and just did those? Oh,
I did the viewpoints, and then you go to the Templar Hunt or the kidnap,
right?
So I've done all of them except for one because I don't have the bombs yet.
I haven't need the bombs?
For one of them to 100% it, you have to not the smoke bombs, but the other ones.
The electric bombs?
I guess the Voltic.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that quest yet from Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah, you haven't done the story yet. Yeah.
So so that's the one that I haven't done yet. So I haven't unlocked that one little area of Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been going through. I'm on sequence 4, and doing some of Evie's like the train missions.
Oh yeah.
And I finished out I think the all but one of the I think I finished out Charles Darwin's missions.
Okay.
The little
Dickens is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean Dickens.
Okay, yeah, Dickens. Yeah, Dickens has my favorite missions.
Yeah, with the ghost hunting.
They're all ghost story
squad,
related. Yeah.
I just did the guy with the hypnotist.
I don't think I've gotten there that far yet.
Okay.
I'm very methodical with these. I'm trying to 100% it. So.
Same here.
Well, so I won't unlock a new area until I'm completely done as far as I can go in one area. So everything will be red around that district.
Yeah.
Because I haven't gone any further. I don't hit the viewpoints. I don't hit anything. I keep it all nice and closed in so that I can clear that section, and then I move on to the next section.
Get all the chests, get all the
chests, get everything I can.
I was doing that, and then I've noticed that the hex glyphs, when you do the viewpoint, it shows on the map where the chests are, where, the different items are, the flowers, and stuff like that.
Music boxes.
It doesn't show music boxes.
No,
and it doesn't show hex glyph. You have to actually be in a vicinity close to them, it seemed.
You can do that if you buy the map. But you have to buy the map with the
hex money or
the Helix money or whatever it is.
I don't have enough Healy money.
The only way you get Helix money is
by getting that the community hex glyph. You get 10 Healy points.
You do that. There's certain things that you can do within. I'll grab this phone. There's certain things that you can do within the game that'll give you a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you really want a lot, you have to spend real money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to the phones. Hey, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
Hey, it's probably Joe.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
There's probably Joe Jr. If you heard him.
Oh, I think we heard him.
Yeah.
Tell him to say hello again.
Hi, sir.
Hello. Hey. Hello.
So I don't understand the fascination with Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
I mean, the first one was great, and it had all the new, the more open world and the better graphics and all this kind of stuff. And it had a really interesting storyline. The second one was okay, but it just made hundreds of side quests. And by I think it's number 3. Is that where you go to the New World?
Three is
America.
Largely considered the worst one.
Yes.
Yep.
That may be my problem, because I just died on 3. I said no more, and just kind of lost it.
You're not the only one. People played 1, and then 2 came out and really opened the door on the whole franchise, and really gave us a lot of hope as to what they were doing with the story. They put in some fantastic game mechanics. They really told a great story with it, and really fleshed the whole Assassin's Creed as it is into a thing.
For me, it's the locations.
Well, the problem with that is that Assassin's Creed 2 got such great
accolades,
and it did great in the store that Ubisoft decided, well, okay, it's time for us to
a little is good, more is better.
Yeah, it's time for us to tap into this. If we can do it this day, let's next year. We don't have 3 ready, do we? No, 3's way down the line. All right, let's take the assets from 2. Let's do Brotherhood and do a little bit of thing here. Let's get another team working on that. All right, what we got next year? Is 3 ready? Nope, 3's not ready. All right, let's do Revelations. Let's get this out here as much as we can. Is Revelations good? All right, good. Next year, is 3 good? 3 is ready to go. All right, throw 3 out there. And so that's it. They just kept trying to do that. This past year, 2016, the first year in I don't know how many years that we haven't had an Assassin's Creed release, if you don't count the movie. That's it. This was the first year that they said, no, we're not doing any release on this. And it's the first year in ever how many years. And it feels like a lot, but it's not.
The Chronicles.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles?
Did Russia come out this year, or
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to those.
Yeah. But for me, like I said, it's the locations. Having lived in Europe, seeing a digital version of Venice, which I've been to a couple times, or London, which I've been to many times. I'll be running around Syndicate and being in Leicester Square and know exactly where I am, know the area around it. From my experience of being there. Of course, it's Victorian area, but so I like that.
And that drew me to 1 and 2, especially 2 when you go to Venice. And
Venice was so much fun.
All is beautiful, but man, 3 just
like I said,
papers and crap. And all
3 was rough.
When 3 was released, 3 got horrible. It just for the most part, everybody hated 3, and it turned a lot of people off.
It turned
of
me
Assassin's
off for a good
Creed. For a pretty good while. They didn't do any. I don't think they did any expansions of that. I think they did Liberation, maybe, which was.
They did Liberation, and they had the DLC of the Tyranny of King George.
Yeah, it still didn't work out too well for them on that. And then they released 4, and 4
brought me back.
4 brought a lot of people back just for the fact that they, again, we go back to the puzzle game that I was playing where they didn't do any variations on the puzzles. This one, I go back to a couple of times. I used to watch Survivor all the time when it was on, back when it first started. And all they ever did was they kept going to these islands or hot places. And I was like, send them to the cold.
Yeah.
They never would. They
found the formula that worked.
Right. And so Assassin's Creed here says, okay, let's get rid of all these land places that were, let's get out of the land. Let's put them on water. And you think water with Assassin's Creed just can't work. How does he do all his little flipping and jumping and things around?
Parkouring.
But but it all worked. It worked fantastic.
The worst part about 4 is when you're not in the Caribbean.
I know, when you're not on the ship.
Yeah.
So 4 did very well to kind of switch that formula up for a bit. And now even Rogue, I think Rogue has the ship stuff in it. And then Unity set them back, man. They tried to really do something with Unity,
co-op?
And it pushed. No, Unity was buggy. It was horrible.
But I mean, didn't Unity have co-op?
No, they didn't.
It didn't.
No, they didn't do.
Or
did it? Wait a second. You're right. I think it did. I think Unity did have co-op. You're right.
That'd be fun. That's where Army of 2 tried to come in and didn't do well at all.
Yeah, it was Rogue, I think, that didn't have any multiplayer. Unity did, but it had co-op stuff, or maybe they took out the there used to be like a spy hunt type thing in I think Revelations and maybe Brotherhood. I can't remember.
Yeah, it started in 3 because it was a DLC for 3.
3, yeah, they used to have that, and then they completely got rid of it. And now I don't know what we're getting for next year. Or I say next year, this year.
Yeah.
We should be hearing more about that probably around March or April. We should hear some rumblings about the next Assassin's Creed, probably around the time the movie hits DVD and Blu-ray stuff. So
DVD.
My problem now is I lost it on 3, and now I've got Broadway Joe Jr. and 2 others, and I don't play video games anymore. I just do board games.
Well, that's not a bad thing. Board games. What do they do? Do they do board games too, or do they do video games?
Broadway Joe Jr. is the oldest, and he's on a tablet right now playing video games. He plays some board games with us, but we tend to play some of the more hardcore and.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know a little bit. Yeah. No Candyland here.
No.
Like what, Settlers of Catan or.
Settlers of Catan is actually one of the softer.
Yeah, you need to go a little bit more. Yeah, go a little bit more advanced than Settlers.
Okay.
Yeah, Mansions of Madness, Star Trek Ascendancy.
Yeah. What's the other one?
Cthulhu one. Arkham.
Yeah, the Arkham horror series is really good.
Mansions of Madness is one of the Arkham horror series.
Yes. House on
Haunted Hill. House on Hill.
Yeah. Exactly, that one too. So
that's fun. That's Scooby-Doo in a box.
It is. It's great. It's great. Well, Broadway Joe, we appreciate you calling in, man.
Have a good one.
You too. Thanks for listening. If you want to get a call in, you can. We do board games. We totally talk about board games. We talk about video games all the time, but board games are fine too. 334-272-9228 is the number. Anything else outside of Syndicate?
Just Syndicate.
Okay. Have you made it to where you can go into the World War I section? Not yet. So you're on sequence what?
4.
Okay. It's coming. I think it's after sequence 5.
Okay.
I think once sequence 5 is done, it'll unlock that section for you.
I've been doing the fight clubs.
Yep, I went through and did all of those.
I got up to the tough one where I had to be recommends level 9, and I was like level 8, and I'm like, okay, let me get a try. And oh man, they were whomping me down.
No, I did all the fight clubs. Leveled both of the characters up. They're completely maxed.
Mm-hmm.
I found all the music boxes.
Yeah, I did all the music boxes. I got her weird Glyphy outfit.
Yep. So there's, I just haven't gotten back into it since I stopped playing last year. So, in fact, I stopped playing in like May of last year.
I think that one of the things I really like about it is there's not that bring you back into so far, 4 sequences.
Oh, it doesn't take you out of
It's not take you out of the Animus. It's all within the world of the Animus.
You get cutscenes outside of the Animus, but no gameplay outside of the Animus.
Yeah.
Because don't you?
Yeah,
there's some where
there is with
the two whatever they are.
I
can't remember what their names are.
Yeah, Sean and but that's fine.
Yeah. So nothing else for you. Nothing else on the list for you.
Nope.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat after this. Hopefully with your calls. You want to get in, give us a call, 334-272-9228. Time running out if you want to get into today's show, 334-272-9228. This next track comes from Undertale. It's called Megalovania. Well, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music from Destiny, Rise of Iron. I know this easily by heart because it's the first thing I hear every time I turn on the game. So we'll have more from Rise of Iron, by the way, because that's got some good music in it.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, welcome back to the show. I'm Scott, got RJ, also got Matt here. And we've only got a few more minutes left in the show. And what were we going to see? I haven't read the article on this. I only read the headline, but Planet Coaster's Frontier Studios, Frontier have sued Roller Coaster Tycoons.
Ooh.
Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Well, they've sued Atari. So, and I don't exactly know what the lawsuits are. I can look at it real quick. It was one I wanted to read just because the two roller coaster games are now going to be in a legal battle over something. Frontier Developments, the maker of Planet Coaster and Elite Dangerous, is suing Atari. TMZ, which broke the news.
TMZ?
I'm reading this from Eurogamer.net. TMZ apparently broke the news. Frontier claims it's owed $2.2 million in royalties by Atari over 2004's Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Frontier said it amended its contract for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 after Atari went bankrupt in 2013. And another website, perhaps Steam Spy, revealed higher sales figures than previously thought. So, Frontier worked out it should have received $3.37 million in royalties from Atari, but only got $1.17. Frontier says Atari delayed when it was asked for an audit of its sales report. Frontier got fed up and is now suing to get the rest of their dough, TMZ said in a statement to Eurogamer. Frontier confirmed the action. This is Frontier's Chief Operating Officer, David Walsh. We can confirm Frontier is currently pursuing a complaint against Atari. We have attempted to resolve this issue without legal action since April of 2016. We have so far been denied our contractual right to audit by Atari, and we are unfortunately left with no other way to resolve our concerns. We are never able to offer any further comment with the matter while the matter is subject due to the legal process. So, that's why.
Did you see someone in Planet Coaster made a Coaster Planet?
Coaster Planet? Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, it reminded me of, was it Mario Galaxy?
Mario Galaxy, exactly. What else? So we got the release date of Mass Effect Andromeda. We got the release date of Injustice 2. NVIDIA is doing a streaming game service.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't look like it's going to be too successful.
No, it looks like it's going to be expensive.
Which is why it's probably not going to be very successful.
Yeah.
First off, don't knock the streaming game service until you've tried it. Because James can attest to this. We've talked about it on the show. On Live, from way back when.
That was fun.
That worked. And it was amazing how well it worked. We played one of the Batman games.
I remember.
Yeah. It was streaming. It was like we were playing it on somebody else's computer type thing is what we were doing, and it worked flawlessly. We never had a problem with it. That's the only game we played because you had to buy the rest of them, and I never wanted to spend money on it. But it worked. So streaming games work. Streaming games necessarily at this price, not so much. NVIDIA, it's called GeForce Now. It's a new game streaming service. It'll turn any PC into an on-demand GeForce gaming machine. The idea of GeForce Now is to do what, AWS does for enterprise, but for gamers. With the download of a small client, any PC can run gaming services and, by extension, play games with high-quality graphics and, most importantly, low latency. Use of the service will cost $25 for 20 hours of play. That is ridiculous. No. $25. If it's $25 a month for unlimited hours of play, that's
maybe
better.
Yeah, it's better. But
I don't necessarily still like that, but that's better.
20 hours of play.
20 hours of play is all you get for $25.
How did they figure that?
Can you look up the prices of PlayStation Now?
Okay.
Not View, but PlayStation Now. I'm curious because that's a game streaming service.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how that works. What their
Did they say how they came up with that price?
It doesn't here in this article. GeForce Now will have to deliver on the promise of low latency streaming for once. At this stage, we haven't tried it for ourselves, but the live demo during the keynote proved promising. The demo launched Steam and booted up Rise of the Tomb Raider in about 20 seconds from both a Mac and a notebook PC. GeForce Now will be available in March.
Let's see. $10 a month, $100 a year.
For unlimited play?
That's what I'm getting here so far. I guess just pay for access.
Yeah, okay. So PlayStation Now beats that right now. But I think you have to have a play. No. You can play it on your PC. You can do that on your PC. Yeah. So, why are they thinking they can get away with doing $25 for 20 hours of play? If PlayStation Now is already doing it for $10 a month, unlimited.
I wonder how many people are doing the PlayStation Now.
I don't know. They keep adding games to the list, though.
So I'm guessing someone's got it.
Still, there's people doing it for some reason, but yeah. I don't know. AC Wraith in the chat room says, I'm consigning myself to buying the humble Assassin's Creed bundle, but I'm waiting until towards the end so I can pretend I'm not spending money. Yeah. Oh, you said go ahead and pull the trigger on AC bundle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, but I'm going to wait until the end probably to get that. I'm going to get that second tier.
The only thing I'm missing now is Liberation. No, I got Liberation.
You got Liberation, yeah.
It's the DLC for 4.
For Black Flag?
Yeah. Was it not free? I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm missing that and Rogue.
Yeah, I've got Rogue on PC. Yep, they'll be on sale again.
Oh yeah.
On Steam or whatever you want to do. So, let's see.
I have a code for 3.
You can throw that in the chat room if you want to, and if somebody wants to take it, they can take it.
Most people already have it on Uplay for...
They either don't want it because it's 3. Yeah. Even when they offered it for free, there are still people who turned it down.
Yeah.
It's just like Duke Nukem. I still didn't. In fact, speaking of Assassin's Creed, it turns 10 this year.
Ooh. Yeah.
First release for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 on November 13th, 2007. So, Destructoid had a list of everything that's having an anniversary in gaming this year.
So you want to feel old? Here you go.
Here we go. 30th anniversary of Afterburner.
Nice. Still play it.
1987 was it when it first released. Yep. It's the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Still can't play it.
Yeah, it was first released in December of 87 for the NES. Mega Man. Metal Gear. 30th anniversary. Phantasy Star.
I still remember I fell asleep in Metal Gear.
Oh, yeah. I Feel Asleep, I think.
Oh, is it Feel Asleep?
Yeah. I think that's what it was. Something like that.
Yeah.
I Feel Asleep. This is PC Engine. First released October 30th, 1987. R-Type, Street Fighter. Street Fighter is 30 years old this
30
year.
30 years old, yep.
Yeah. 25th anniversary of Kirby's Dream Land and something else. 20th anniversary of Armored Core, Bushido Blade.
Bushido Blade.
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
20 years ago this year.
Resident Evil.
Gran Turismo, 20th. I'll get there. Gran Turismo, 20th anniversary. GoldenEye.
Oh, man.
For N64, 20 years. 15th anniversary for Final Fantasy, what is that, 9? No, that's
10.
11. Final Fantasy 11. Kingdom Hearts, 15 years old this year. As we said, it's the 10th anniversary of Assassin's Creed. Also, Uncharted, 10 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
It is the 10-year anniversary of Wii Fit. And lower on the list, 5 years ago, we got Dishonored and Dragon's Dogma.
Wow, 5 years for Dishonored?
Yeah.
Time flies, man.
It does.
Fez was released 5 years ago this year. Gravity Rush. Skullgirls.
Yep.
Gets its 5th anniversary this year in April.
I should be getting the, from Limited Run Games, I've ordered the second Encore actual physical copy from them. Yeah. Should be.
And on November 18th of this year, we'll see the 5th anniversary of the Wii U.
Did you guys see the the box art for Firewatch for the physical?
No.
Yeah, it looked really cute. I mean, it's just to see that game in like
limited run, or
I don't think it's limited run. It's just just to be able to see it though as a physical copy. It's not online.
Is it a real thing or was it just a mock-up?
I think it was a real thing because I think they're doing a limited run of physical copies.
Like, yeah, that's what a limited run is. That's where I got Skullgirls from.
Greatest hit, because just the one.
AC Wraith mentioned the Humble Monthly, which for next month you get XCOM 2 plus a bunch of other games for $12. He says it sounds like a good deal. It is a good deal. It's a great deal. XCOM 2 during the Steam sale was one I was looking at getting. A couple of people who had it on their wish list, but it was not near $12. So, yeah, I didn't put that out there. But.
And 4 is the good one, AC. And man, Bushido Blade, that was to me one of my favorite fighting games back in the original PlayStation era. That and Tekken 3.
Never played Bushido Blade.
The picture you're talking about, Matt, is it the like the main character standing on a cliff looking at a sunset?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, that is on a. That was on Limited Run. Let me post a picture, see if that's
I liked
the same one. Yeah.
But did you played Bushido Blade? Did you, RJ?
I don't think I played it, but I've heard enough about it. Yeah, it's like certain if you get hit in a certain
if you
spot,
get hit in the arm, your arm
yeah.
is, you can't use it. If you get hit in the leg, you're like hobbling on one leg.
Yeah, headshot.
You're dead. Yeah, there's no health meter.
There's no health meter in the game. Yeah, you just have to protect your chest and head because vital critical shot there and you're gone.
I would love to see a remake of that, like in current current gen. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of games I would love to see remade, but probably not likely. But I still would like to see them remade. Got one? You said Bushido Blade for you?
Yeah, Tekken 3 was one of my favorites, and Street Fighter 3. Was it 3?
3 is
the
Third Strike. 3. Third Strike or Alpha series?
I think
the Alpha series.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is how you talk about Street Fighter games. Yeah, I'm just like Street Fighter. Which one?
Yeah.
2. All right, which one?
Which version? Yeah.
Which one? Yeah, exactly.
Let's narrow it down.
Turbo Edition.
I'm at 3.
Champion
I'm
Edition?
sorry. Well, which one?
The bootleg hacked one.
I think it was 3 Alpha.
Well, even there. So okay, Street Fighter 2. Which one? Championship Edition. Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True or hacked? Yeah.
Yeah. Championship Edition DX Turbo 3. That's always been the way it's been with
Street Fighter.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did it with Resident Evil.
Yeah. I like Resident Evil. Which one? The director's cut. All right. The DualShock or the.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So. Multal wants to know if he said, give me a message if you want to give me some ideas or guidance for the 500th intro or video tribute thing. You did really, really good with the E3 video. So
500th episode?
Yeah.
When's that coming up?
Probably next year. This is
already.
By the way, this is episode 451. Yeah.
Again, time flies.
Yeah, I know.
I put the image in the chat room. Is that the image you were talking about?
Ooh, I want to see this
because that's from Limited Run Games.
From what you're saying, it sounded like the one I saw. That was like, oh, that's cute.
No,
that's not it.
I don't know if he thinks that's cute.
Well, I don't know.
Click on the link. Did you click on it?
My tablet's slow.
No. Well.
Okay. What do you got?
Oh, what it looks like? It looks like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the one that you saw?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was.
But, still, it's just like having a physical copy of digital games sometimes is neat.
Yeah.
That's what I
got a Skullgirls Second Encore for.
That's what Limited Run Games does. That's what IndieBox. IndieBox does that. IndieBox is a lot like Loot Crate. You pay so much a month, and then every month you get a boxed copy of some kind of indie game. So I'm still waiting. I'm going to be getting a box copy of Abduction sometime this year.
Did you play Firewatch?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I played it, finished it.
Yeah, right now
it's an easy one to finish, but it's such
I think they've got a VR version, or they're talking about doing a VR version. I mean, it won't. The story or anything doesn't change, but you can still look around, and play it in VR, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, right now Limited Run's running Lone Survivor is available for sale now.
With Mark Wahlberg?
No,
the game.
It's a game called Lone Survivor. Yeah.
And I would tell drunk degenerates to get Resident Evil. He's
I
asking.
Will totally get Night in the Woods next week. Been looking. You know the game, man. I've been watching a lot of people play it. It's that Friday the 13th game.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's got to be better than the NES. I mean, no matter what.
In the format like Evolve. One person plays as Jason. One person plays as everybody else plays as the kids. So
it's it's like a 5-on-1 type thing.
Yeah, so it's like Evolve's format, just better executed, maybe.
Hopefully.
Possibly. I understand what you're saying. Very possible. I don't know. There's certain, from watching the gameplay, and there's a YouTube video of about 19 or 20 minutes worth of gameplay for Friday the 13th, which, speaking of, comes, that's this Friday.
Yep.
In order to get a completion or to get a successful escape from Crystal Lake, there are certain criteria that have to be met that you can achieve a win with. Call the police, but in order to do that, you've got to tick off these certain marks, like find a phone to call the police. Once you do that, you've got to wait for the police to get there, and there's a counter. Once the police get there, there's a certain area on the map that you've got to get to where they're at, and so...
I'm surprised it's something there that says, get to the phone. Phone doesn't work.
Right.
You have to do something to find something else.
Well, see, I'm sure maybe Jason can cut phone lines.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I really don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking about the traditional horror movie tropes, like phones don't work, cars never start on the first
Well, there's the car.
Yeah.
The car escape is there, but you have to find the battery to put into the car.
Yeah.
Crank it up, find the fuel to put into the car, and then get in the car and drive off.
I think there's only one horror movie I've ever seen where the car started on the first try.
Oh yeah.
I think Night of the Demons. I think it was that one.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one I've seen where the car started first try.
But there are certain criteria for it, and it really, I don't know. Jason apparently has the ability to teleport.
Well, yeah.
Makes sense. It explains why he's everywhere.
Where he's as soon as he can.
He seems to in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it when the game developers have that love for the property. That when I've seen some interviews where they talk about where you could tell that they enjoy Friday the 13th and they want to do right.
Oh, these guys.
It reminds me of the Alien Isolation, where they love the Alien series and they want to do right by it. And so when you have that, I think that really adds to it, where you get something more akin to Isolation than Colonial Marines.
I'm still thinking about those characters in Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah.
Jason and the Alien, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They put him in there. They put in Leatherface and a couple other horror guys in that one as well.
But a Baraka-morph or something like that? Xenomorph?
There's Acidic, where he spits acid. I think Sonic Fox won a major tournament with this character, Acidic Alien.
But the alien itself...
Baraka, there's a Tarkatan version where he has
is there an actual,
blades.
just a regular Xenomorph looking, or is it the Baraka looking...
Okay, yeah, like I said, there's 3 variations. One has the blades, one spits acid. I'm trying to think of the other one. I'm not sure, but I think it's the version that spits his the eggs, where the face huggers pop out of. I think there's a version like that. So that may be the most closest one to regular that I know of. And Jason as well has different variations as well in this game as well.
Does he have a like a variation where he has like the burlap sack on his head instead of the hockey mask?
No, they all have the hockey mask, but I think one is silver, one is the traditional, and I think another one is black.
I wonder if
something.
If the silver one was like Jason X, that would have been awesome.
No, I don't think it's that extravagant.
But, but I think the Friday the 13th game that we're talking about,
you could do the burlap sack.
Yes.
From, was it 2?
I don't know. They've got all kinds of different variations.
That's awesome.
They when I went to the panel on this at PAX Prime, and they were doing trivia that I had no idea about, because they were talking about which actor is the only actor who, or what actor only played Jason one time or did this. I don't know. There was like all these different things, or which movie did he kill the girl this way? Or which movies did he kill the girl this way? Which movies had the hockey mask that looked like this? Okay, which movies had the hockey mask that looked like this? And so lots of trivia there. And yeah, I'm actually excited about that. So looking forward to it.
We'll see.
What are we all playing?
Scary game in a while.
Well, this game doesn't feel scary though.
That's a potential.
I like the multiplayer aspect of it, for that you're kind of working as a team to make things happen, and you can talk to each other.
Imagine if like Jason just comes out of nowhere, and, you're trying to run, and he's just walking. Next thing you know, he's
I never got that feel when I was watching the gameplay.
All
right. When I watched that footage, I never felt a sense of dread or horror at all.
No tension, just.
There was, before Jason shows up, there's tension.
Okay.
And whenever Jason's there, there's a little bit of tension, but not much after, you kind of get used to him being in the area. Because beforehand...
I'm trying to think like Slender, because that's...
Which I haven't played.
Okay.
Beforehand, you hear the counselors talking to each other and saying, okay, I'm locking up the door on this place, I'm doing this, where's Jason? There's a report that he's over on this thing, and the guy looks at his map, he's like, okay, he's way over there. So I'm going to go outside and go to this other cabin and lock it up and set traps and do all my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Jason at? Oh, I don't know where he's at. And then people start hearing the music, and it's like, okay, he's around my area somewhere. I'm going to get inside, lock the door. Once he actually does show up, he's impressive. I mean, he's big, but he's slow.
Yeah.
So you can get away from him. There was one area where he got inside a house, but the counselors set down a bear trap on the floor that it got him caught. And so the counselor he was in the doorway with his leg caught in the thing, and he was trying to get his leg out. Mm-hmm. Well, the player was able to run beside Jason and get out the door. Jason couldn't grab him for some reason. So that kind of takes away the tension a little bit, that if you can get him caught in an animation, you can just run by him. Whereas that probably wouldn't happen in any kind of film. You get close enough to him, he'll just grab you and kill you.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got to run. We are running short on time and about to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for watching us. Thanks for joining us in the chat room as well. Thanks for everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. Don't forget to go to last week's show and go to 810 so you can hear Matt's phone. And go to ingamechat.net. You can join us on Twitter, Facebook, our forums at colonyofgamers.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're watching us on Twitch. Subscribe there. And if you're on Steam, we've got a Steam group you can join up with over there and play games with us and other listeners. We've got a community on Xbox. We've got a community on PS4. Join all of those and play games with us. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you next Saturday. I did not change this music that we play at the end of the show, so it'll always be something old school for you. I don't know what this is. Probably Mega Man. We'll see you next week. It's not
Punch
Mega
Out!
Man.